Right, Monday's iNews first, and Paul, seems like Keir's got a backbone after all.
It appears that way at the moment. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Keir Starmer faces a growing revolt over his Israel policy from shadow ministers after accepting he is unable to fire rebel front benches. This comes amidst the fact that he has, when they call for a ceasefire in Gaza, he's saying, he's essentially saying, we don't think there should be a ceasefire on the back of, Israel have the right to retaliate to a terror attack because they're a sovereign country. Now, I think Keir Starmer's in a bit of a bind here, and the reason I do is because obviously Labour, much like a lot of other political parties, but Labour in particular is a very broad church, and Keir Starmer has tried to be all things to all men up until now. Let's not forget that only a couple of
women, if he knows what they are.
Yeah, if he doesn't know what they are. Well, he knows what 99% of them are, or something ridiculous like that. However, Keir Starmer has tried to be all things to all men to the outside, but his Labour family is a very broad church, and there are people within there.
You mean a broad mosque? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say, Paul?
Well, in this particular case, absolutely is what I'm trying to say, Josh. And he finds himself in a bind because this war is not going anywhere, sadly, and he is going to have to either stand by his guns, and if he does, I'll be impressed. But let's not forget that this is the man that we're quite happily seen Jeremy Corbyn in power only a matter of years ago.
Well, we don't know how happy he was about it, but
well,
yes,
he was happy enough to campaigne for him, and for me that makes him relatively happy because you can take a stand, can't you?
Yeah, I mean,
you can take a stand.
There's an argument here that obviously the risk for Labour is losing, as you say, Muslim votes, and I think I'm not speaking out of turn to say that the majority of Muslims are very much against this war. Look, I'm against this war, but certainly wanting a ceasefire, which is essentially meaning to give Hamas time to regroup. But the point is, do you think that, Kerry, that Keir Starmer would actually alienate more people if he seemingly gave in to that constituent?
I think right now he should be sticking to facts. And what he said that caused so much upset is that Israel has the right to withhold power and supplies right now, which it does. And I've been reading up a lot on rules of war because they're fascinating this week anyway. And it's amazing that the countries got together and made rules of war, but actually they have a tremendous allowance in them. And Israel will be having lawyers sitting next to every bomb before it's sent off to check that everything's legal and that everything they're doing is legal right now. They know what the laws are. Yeah. The problem is this. The problem is if you don't like the laws, then you need to change the law. Yeah. And that means universally. You can't say Israel's not allowed to do this or Israel's not allowed to do that. If you don't like the laws of war, you can say tap-tap bombs. They don't give people enough time to get there. So tap-tap bombs hit the house or the building saying there's a bomb coming. You only get about 3 minutes to get out. It's not enough. Don't like it? Go to the UN and say, let's change the law. All countries now have to have at least thousands of missiles going into their country before they retaliate. Yeah. They have to use tap-tap bombs, which ruins the whole point of a bomb because it's supposed to be an element of surprise. You have to give people warnings to get out. Other countries aren't doing this.
Yeah.
So good. Change it. Change the rules.
Absolutely. But getting back to the story very quickly, this somewhat seems a bit of a free speech issue because you have 11 of his frontbenchers essentially disagreeing with him. He's had a pretty tight hold on the Labour Party now. And the question is he going to bend to their will or not, or let them speak up for themselves?
It's going to test him hard. It's going to really put him into a position.